Hey, let's talk some weather, Southwest Florida. This is a tropical loop of our satellite of Tropical Storm Helene, churning and swirling throughout areas of the central and the western Caribbean, expected to continue to slowly move to the north-northwest before taking more of a north and then a northeasterly jog. Still waiting for the 11 p.m. update, not going to come in for about another 30-45 minutes, but as of the 8 p.m., max sustained winds of 60, which has increased from 50 miles per hour from the 5 p.m. update. As I had mentioned, movement is to the west-northwest, and then it'll likely take more of a northerly and then a northeasterly jog once it works its way into sections of the southern Gulf of Mexico. Wanted to highlight offshore Southwest Florida Thursday afternoon. Due to rapid intensification, we are anticipating Helene to rapidly intensify into a major Cat 3 hurricane with sustained winds of 115, but it's going to be about 150 miles offshore for us here in Southwest Florida. So I've been saying this over and over again. This is not going to be a Southwest Florida storm by any means. Will we feel some impacts? Absolutely. Is this going to be a major direct path for us? Not at all. It's expected to go through sections of either Apalachicola, the Big Bend, and or towards the Cedar Key area sometime Thursday evening between around 7 p.m. and the midnight hour. Forecast models, really great agreement of where Helene will continue to head over the next couple of days. The future wind field is expected to increase, and Helene's going to kind of become a monster, widespread in diameter from the west to the east, hundreds and hundreds of miles wide. So the impacts will be felt outside of the forecast cone, and that's also what we've been trying to drill into our lovely Wink viewers, is that we're not going to be in the forecast cone, but we still will be dealing with some indirect impacts from the storm system. One in particular, the potential for tropical storm force winds highlighted in the shade of yellow. So once again, here's the expected future track of Helene. This is tomorrow at about 3 p.m. So now it's fully in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Once it gets into this area and works its way to the north, also you can slowly start to see that center of circulation, that eye wall, starting to consolidate, which basically means it's getting better organized and strengthening. And then watch what happens as it works its way from Wednesday afternoon into Thursday afternoon. Likely some of those outer bands will be impacting sections of Southwest Florida, likely beginning late Wednesday, overnight Wednesday, and then this is Thursday's time frame between around 1 and 2 p.m. before it drifts to the north, likely having those landfall impacts expected across the Big Bend. In the yellow, tropical storm watches in effect. In the orange, tropical storm warnings. That includes all of Collier County, all of Lee, Charlotte, DeSoto, and Highlands County, and then Sarasota County and points to the north. And then when you get into this magenta color right there, that is where the hurricane warning begins, just to the north of Tampa, and it extends all the way around the Big Bend through Apalachicola. That's St. James Island, that is Cape San Blas Islands, and then also the state capital, Tallahassee, currently under a hurricane warning. All of the west coast of Florida currently under a storm surge warning. That includes from the southern tip of Collier all the way up through the Big Bend, where water will likely get pushed up on top of our coastline. Now, the further south, the lesser the storm surge. I'm expecting Collier between around 2 to 4 feet, northern Collier in the Lee and Charlotte at about 3 to 5 feet, and then once you get into Sarasota County near Tampa, about 4 to 8, and then once you get north of Tampa, 6 to 10, and then the bullseye, about 10 to 15 foot of storm surge across areas of the Big Bend. So they are going to be dealing with life-threatening storm surge sometime Thursday afternoon and into the overnight hours. Let's break it down for the timing of Helene for the next couple of days. Likely be dealing with scattered rain, locally heavy tropical downpours beginning Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday, on and off, and then into early Friday morning. About 2 to 4 inches, isolated 4+ closer to the coast. Sustained winds, roughly about 20 to 35, with gusts in excess of about 45 to 65. Also can't rule out some isolated tornadoes as those outer bands work their way through.